Hi everyone, welcome to one of this week's Math CEO videos, where today we're going to be talking about how to score points in Loteria. Just to recap from the discussion today, every line made of 2 tokens gives 2 points, a line of 3 tokens gives 3 points, and a line of 4 tokens gives 4 points. I'll talk about pentos later. Let's look at this example where there's 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row and see how many points there are. Well, to count how many lines of 2 there are, there's 1, 2, 3. That would be 2 times 3, which is 6 points from the lines of 2 tokens alone. Then for the lines of 3 tokens, there'd be 1, 2. So 2 times 3, that'd be another 6 points. And then lastly, well, there's just the kind of obvious 4 in a row. So 4 points. To add up all the points, it'd be 6 points from 2 plus 6 points from 3 plus 4 points from 4, or 16 points total. Now to move on to pentos, there's these 2 rules for pentos. One is that generated pentos can overlap on the board, which will make sense once I show an example. And 2 is that even if a particular pento is generated more than once on the board, it will give 10 points and no more. And that one might be hard to understand. So right here, I have an example of a pento. You can see there's 5 squares. And what this rule says is that if you have this on your board, there's different ways you could look at it. I've numbered the tiles, so like 1's at the top, 2, 3, and 4. So this alone would be 10 points. But if I were to rotate it and I would say, oh, well, it's technically a different shape, right? Well, not really. So no matter how you rotate it, it's still just going to be 10 points and no more. Another example is with this L-shaped pento, where for this grid, although it may look like there's 2 pentos, you can see here, if we just flip this around, it's actually 1 unique pento. So again, it would only be 10 points. Lastly, for your own practice, you can pause the video here and try to find out how many unique pentos there are for this setup. All right, and the answer is 2. With this one, we could set it up right here and right here. But again, that only counts for 1 pento, 10 points. And this one, we could set it up right here and like that. All right, lastly, I want to go over some examples for finding the total number of points for certain setups. So take this one. The strategy that I found that works for me is to write out, so say, all the points that you get from 2 in a row. But for this, I want to look at the ones that are horizontal, vertical, let's call this upper right diagonal, and then upper left diagonal. And likewise for the 3 in a row, I would do the same thing, and 4 in a row, I would do the same thing. Now, you might be confused by what I mean with upper right and upper left, and to be honest, it's just how I think of them. If I have 2 tokens right here, this would be 1 pair of 2. And in the same way, if I had 2 tokens like this would be another pair. So maybe pause the video and try to see how many total points you can come up with for this setup. For the number of 2 pairs of tokens that are horizontal, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for vertical, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just the same. Upper right, there would be 2, 1 right here, 1 right here. And then upper left would be the same thing, 1 there, 1 there. So in total, for the number of points that come from pairs of tokens, 2 tokens, would be 6 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2, or 16. Remember, this is 16 pairs, but it's two points per pair. So the total number of points would be 32 points. 3, I'll try to speed this up. Horizontal, there'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Vertical, 1, 2, 3, 4. You notice there's a pattern that for both the pairs of 3s and the pairs of 2s, the number of horizontals are the same as the number of verticals. And I believe there's 0 upper right and 0 upper left, or diagonals in general. In total, there's 8 pairs of 3s multiplied by 3 points each, or 24 points total. And just real quick, 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4 in total, multiplied by 4 points each, or 16 points total. Lastly, for the number of pentos, if I go up here with this L shape, you could see that this fits with the tokens we have. Although if you look closer, you can see that this shape also fits. So there would be 2 unique pentos multiplied by 10 points each, for a total of 20 points. And then, of course, to find the total number of points that you get, you just add up 32 plus 24 plus 16 plus 20, which ends up being a total score of 92 points. If you're feeling ambitious, you can try to do this last example on your own. I won't go through it, but here are the numbers the values that you should get. And again, what I would recommend doing is just looking at the number of horizontal pairs, vertical pairs, diagonal pairs in one direction, and diagonal pairs in the other direction. And yeah, thank you for listening.